"You must be the tenant," Lisa said, barely glancing up. "I own this land," the farmer replied, jaw clenched. Lisa smirked. "This plot was annexed last month. We're building a community pool." "I'm also the county zoning director," Lisa laughed. "Then take it up with the county." In a small town where tradition meets modernity, a fierce conflict brews between a dedicated farmer and the assertive president of the local homeowners association. The farmer, deeply rooted in the land that has been in their family for generations, faces an uphill battle against unauthorized development, threatening to trespass upon their cherished fields. The sun hung low in the sky as the farmer approached their fields, a sense of dread creeping in. Suddenly, the sight of a bulldozer tearing through the crops sent shockwaves through their heart. The once vibrant rows of corn, nurtured with love and hard work, lay in ruin beneath the machine's relentless treads. It was a devastating moment, a visceral reminder of the battle they faced. A banner flapped between two stakes. Future site of HOA community pool. The farmers stared at it, fists clenched, the letters blurring as anger welled behind their eyes. Standing nearby, Lisa, the HOA president, reveled in her plans for development, her vision starkly contrasting with the farmer's commitment to preserving the land. Lisa wore oversized sunglasses and clutched a latte like a scepter. She stood beside a folding table, chirping to her assistant about a ribbon-cutting ceremony. To her, this was just another opportunity to add a feather to her cap, a legacy project for her HOA resume. As the county zoning director, the farmer felt the weight of their dual role. They were not just a protector of the land, but also a key player in the very regulations that could save it. This clash of interests set the stage for an emotional confrontation where the stakes were not just personal, but deeply rooted in the community's future. As the farmer confronted Lisa about the bulldozer's presence, she presented a stack of paperwork, claiming it authorized the HOA's plans for a community pool on their land. The documents were riddled with inconsistencies and lacked the necessary permits, raising red flags about their legitimacy. Parcel numbers were generic, surveys were expired, and one note cited a verbal easement from a previous owner who'd been dead for 6 years. Lisa, with a dismissive wave of her hand, brushed aside the farmer's passionate assertions of ownership, insisting that the community's needs outweigh individual rights. Her arrogance only fueled the farmer's resolve to fight back against these illegal actions. Determined to protect their land, the farmer meticulously gathered evidence, documenting the HOA's shady dealings and the absence of proper approvals. This was not merely a battle over land, it was a stand against corruption and a fight for justice. With each passing day, the farmers' commitment to reclaiming their rights grew stronger, igniting a fierce determination to expose the HOA's underhanded tactics and defend their legacy. Determined to protect their land, the farmer embarked on a meticulous quest to gather evidence against the HOA's illegal activities. Understanding the importance of documentation, they obtained satellite images that clearly showed the encroachment on their property, juxtaposing the HOA's claims with undeniable proof. Additionally, soil studies were commissioned to demonstrate the agricultural value of the land, further solidifying their case. They took photographs, requested drone footage from a local tech college, and even located an old deed tucked in the courthouse basement that reaffirmed their boundary lines. At night, the farmer pored over zoning codes and precedent cases by the light of a kitchen lamp. Pen in hand, notes scattered across the table like battlefield plans. With a strategic mindset, the farmer called for an emergency zoning board meeting, rallying support from fellow community members who shared their concerns. This meeting would serve as a platform to expose the HOA's underhanded tactics and assert the farmers' rights. To ensure legal compliance and safety during this critical time, the farmer also reached out to the sheriff's department, seeking their assistance in monitoring the situation. Deputies arrived and took statements, carefully photographing the machinery and construction site. One of them, an old friend of the farmer, muttered, "They didn't even file a grading permit. What the hell is this?" This multifaceted approach not only showcased the farmers' resilience, but also highlighted their commitment to justice, setting the stage for a showdown against the HOA's unlawful ambitions. As the HOA's construction efforts continued, unabated, chaos erupted at the site. Heavy machinery roared to life, and the sound of destruction filled the air, drowning out the farmers' pleas for respect and understanding. Lisa hosted a picnic under a pop-up tent, sipping from a wine tumbler while handing out brochures claiming the land had been donated Greenbelt property. In a bold and creative response, the farmer decided to unleash their herd of cows onto the construction site, a symbolic act of defiance that drew the attention of the community. The sight of the cows grazing amidst the chaos became a powerful image of resistance, rallying neighbors to support the farmers' fight for their land. They wandered through the job site, knocking over tables, licking startled workers, and trampling the pool's framing. Lisa shrieked, clipboard raised, only to be mooed at. Someone yelled, "This is sabotage!" The farmer crossed their arms and said calmly, "They're my cows, on my farm. Maybe your pool's in the wrong place." Community members began to gather, voicing their outrage at the HOA's blatant disregard for property rights and the farmer's legacy. Neighbors brought signs that read, "We stand with our farmer," and "No pool on stolen land." A few offered coffee and sandwiches. Local teens snapped selfies with the cows and posted videos online, which quickly went viral. Meanwhile, the tension between the farmer and Lisa reached a boiling point, with heated exchanges highlighting their conflicting visions for the future. As the stakes escalated, both sides prepared for a showdown that would determine the fate of the land and the community itself. The pivotal zoning hearing arrived, and the atmosphere was charged with anticipation as the farmer prepared to confront Lisa and present their evidence against the HOA. With a steady hand, the farmer unveiled a collection of documents, including forged paperwork that the HOA had submitted to justify their construction plans. As the community watched in rapt attention, the dramatic moment unfolded when Lisa realized that the farmer, not her, was presiding over the hearing. The shock on her face was palpable, a stark contrast to her earlier confidence. She ranted about jealous bureaucrats until her voice faltered. "This pool was a gift for the kids," she stammered, contradicting earlier claims that it was for private access. The legal implications of the evidence presented were profound, as the farmer meticulously outlined how the HOA had violated zoning laws and misrepresented their intentions. Gasps rippled through the audience as the community began to grasp the gravity of the situation. Support for the farmer surged, uniting neighbors in a collective stand against the HOA's unscrupulous actions, setting the stage for a potential turning point in the conflict. The consequences of the hearing reverberated throughout the community, igniting a media frenzy that exposed the HOA's illegal activities. News outlets flocked to cover the story, highlighting the community's outrage over the blatant disregard for property rights and the farmer's courageous stand. As the truth unfolded, Lisa found herself in a desperate scramble to salvage her reputation, attempting to downplay her role in the scandal. She blamed her legal advisor, her yoga instructor's husband, who had taken an online paralegal course. When flattery failed, she whispered about a consulting fee to fix things quietly. The farmer smiled, pressed record, and replied, "That'll pair nicely with your file." However, the mounting evidence and public sentiment turned against her, leading to serious legal repercussions that threatened her position as HOA president. Meanwhile, the farmer's land began to transform, as the bulldozers were halted and plans for the community pool were scrapped. Slowly, the damaged fields were replanted. Volunteers helped mend fences, resow corn, and clean debris. A nearby elementary school sent thank you cards. One read, "Thank you for saving the cow's home." The community rallied together, celebrating this hard-fought victory for justice with a heartfelt gathering on the farmer's land, where laughter and camaraderie replaced the tension that had once filled the air. It was a triumphant moment, symbolizing resilience and the power of standing up for what is right. The farmers' unwavering determination, coupled with the overwhelming support from the community, showcased the incredible strength that arises when individuals unite for a common cause. This conflict serves as a reminder of the implications of HOA governance and the complexities surrounding land ownership, urging everyone to reflect on how these issues can impact their own lives. If this story moved, you don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful tales of resilience and justice. Thank you for watching Work Story, and see you in the next one.